Hi Kelvin, thank you for sending in your first essays for correction. Great to have you with us. Sorry for the delay in getting this back to you. Here we go, first essays. So these are kind of education, children, both these, the theme here. Some people think schools have to be more entertaining, while others think their sole purpose is to educate. Which do you agree with? Use specific reasons and examples. Okay, so more entertaining or educate? Schools are regarded as institutions particularly focusing on educational purposes, while others prefer classrooms to be more creative programs. Okay, careful on here, schools are regarded, and here prefer. So you could do this, you could start with while sometimes. While sometimes schools are regarded, because you have to get this idea of some people think this and other people think that. So that's a way to do it. Well, sometimes schools are regarded as institutions, particularly for educational purposes, Others, so take out that "i'll", so we've moved the "while" up to here. Others prefer classrooms, good, okay. Teaching organisations, in my opinion, should provide more entertaining content for the sake of helping students to develop not only academic knowledge, really nice, I like that. I would change that word, Kelvin, to something not in the title. So you could have, for example, interesting or stimulating. These are all great words here, great vocab. Or challenging content, or amusing, something like that, for the sake of. What I really like here is that you're giving me a little bit of a reason. Well done. Healthy mentality and communication skills, plural. Firstly, the traditional way of teaching is prone to inducing stress, which has always been a huge problem in school life. This is largely because, move that verb to here, this is largely because this old-fashioned learning method, which relies mainly on text-based information. Now, you have to have the, not this, because you're forward referencing here, but you haven't mentioned it before, so you can't use this. The old-fashioned learning method, which relies mainly on text-based information, numerous assignments, intense exams, is monotonous. Okay, what I would suggest here is can often be. So we just need to use slightly more subtle language. We call this academic hedging. Can often be monotonous and tedious, and you don't need to repeat that, then lead to teenagers losing interest in studying, thus resulting in poor performance. Really nice. I like this. Excellent. For instance, a recent report established by, I wouldn't say established, I'd say published. We don't establish a report, we publish a report, showed that more than 80% of college students complained about the heavy workloads assigned. Oh, hang on. More than 80% complained about the heavy workloads. And then you don't need that. I would go which reduced. And I wouldn't say passion. That's just the wrong kind of context. We wouldn't really use that with education. I reduced their motivation. Might be a better word choice there. Okay, but lovely sentence. What I really like, Kelvin, here is that you are developing your ideas really nicely. The paragraph construction's looking good. We've got nice complex sentences here, which is what we want to be going for. Therefore, could efficiently. Okay. So could be more suggestive. Now, excuse me. Here, hopefully, you're going to tell me what you mean by entertaining, because you haven't yet specifically said what you mean by this. Very important to say what you mean here. Okay, you've criticized that. Secondly, social interaction is underrated in the classroom nowadays. This is due to the fact that tiresome courses require children to be focusing solely on their table work. Moreover, sometimes, remember not always, so a little bit more thinking on this academic hedging. These little words like often and sometimes are really important. It's strictly forbidden. However, don't go on the contrary, just go however. The modern trend of creating more interactive and engaging lessons would encourage, here you're going into a kind of hypothetical, so I would go would encourage, you're suggesting it, pupils to communicate with one another and advocate teamwork. For example, having a research trip. You don't need going to, just put to a foreign country for academic purposes. and I'd go might again instead of can. Watch out for overusing can. Might not only strengthen bonds, you don't need there, but just bonds, but also help stimulate insight. So you can take out those. This is to do with the coherence. We don't need these words. It's sort of understood, which seldom happens in a formal classroom. Good. That's really, really nice writing. I really like that. To conclude, I firmly believe that appropriate entertainment, so again, so instead of that, you could say something like student-centered activities, an appropriate range or appropriate, challenging, interesting, interactive range, something here integrated into standard teaching could bring optimal result in education. In future, such improved methodology would be recommended. I don't think you need to repeat this again. It feels like it's too much. Will be, why don't you go adopted more often. Yeah? Or adopted with great success or something. Something like that as an ending. Don't make your conclusion too long. Make sure you don't make your conclusion repetitive either, because you don't want to be doing that. And that is a good length. I'm really impressed with that, Kelvin. Lovely start. Can you tell me a bit more about you? I assume maybe you've done this exam before. I'm assuming you're going for a high band. So please let me know. It'd be great to find out a bit more. Okay, so let's look at the second one. So similar sort of ideas, some of this, although for me this is very much children, okay? Doing an activity with a child. So when you start about IELTS, I'm going to disagree with you here because children for me, this is a really important word. It's not students, okay? Really big difference. So children, we're talking under 12 age, and you need to bring that out. So although it's commonly said that reading is the standard way of child education, the standard way, I would say maybe a keystone of children's education. Many have started promoting, you can't promote that, you can promote the idea that entertaining activities can be far more beneficial in many aspects. Again, what do you mean? So you need to explain what do you mean. I strongly believe the latter, and my points will be demonstrated. Okay, this is a little bit blah, blah, blah. Be careful. I really liked it in the previous essay, how you immediately told me something. Here, for the sake of this, you gave me a reason. And here, it's a little bit empty. Be careful of a sort of empty sentence that could go in any essay. That's not good enough. You've got to have every sentence must be relevant for this essay right now. And also, I'm going to challenge you on the firstly, secondly. It's a bit boring. Okay, it's not really a band 7, firstly, secondly. So think of different ways to start the sentence. I mean, I think you can leave these out. I'd just go for although and on the contrary. I don't think you need firstly, secondly. It's not very sophisticated as a style. So, although studying literacy material is always regarded as an essential part of pupils' learning, the unintentional characteristic of it means insufficient time, insufficient something. You need a noun for developing all-round abilities. So IELTS, I'm going to take out that because I want you to talk about children and I want you to talk about the children learning. So here, if you're going to say you don't think it's that important, you must say that children find it hard, it is lonely, they're not working as a team, that sort of thing. You need to find other negatives, but not just this one. Furthermore, sitting for an extended period of time can be, so careful, more tentative, could be both monotonous and potentially unhealthy. You don't need that. Especially for, so unhealthy for active youths. Okay, and I would go youngsters. Whose bodies are growing rapidly. Good, nice point. Therefore, the plenty of okay. So tell me what they are. Hopefully here. And I don't think you need that actually either, because here you're leading me into what they're going to be. So you could have, it has often been suggested, or parents argue that participating in many entertaining activities can be favourable since. Okay, I'm having to wait till I get here for you to tell me what you mean as the alternative to reading. I think that's too long. So that's what I mean about bringing some of the, introduce your ideas up here. So I'm 3/4 of the way through, and only now you're telling me about what some of these doing activities is. Do you see here? It's affecting the coherence, because I'm waiting for you to get to this. And you should bring that up into the intro. Then I can read it in a more relaxed way. I'm not kind of panicking that you're not going to tell me. Playing up, yeah, since they demand not only strategic, yes, but also teamwork. You don't need to repeat that. In a group setting, not to mention numerous vocabulary, singular, that can be learned owing to context of various game themes. Okay, very nice. To sum up, I strongly believe that utilising creation methods. And then, careful, I'm not talking about education. Be very careful. Yeah, I'm talking about developing skills and creativity. Be really careful here. It is easy to go off topic, especially when you've just written the first one. They are not the same. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not really methodologies for me. It is activities. Playing football, playing in a team. You mentioned board games, but do more about playing in a team. Yeah, participating, yeah, including ball games and or ball games. I mean, it doesn't matter, but tell me what you mean here. Okay, so first essay, really good. This one, finding a few more issues with, but great start, Kelvin, and really look forward to hearing a bit more about you.